Hey, what's up guys? This is Oakley and I'm joined by Indie Pride, and this is going to be a huge, the definition of massive siege. This is going to be on Tarquinii. Indie Pride is here. We'll be fielding the Romans. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And this is going to be a big battle, as I said. So the city itself was a really cool one. It's called Tarquinii. It's in Italy, and you have to open up the Caesar at the Gates DLC to actually pick this one up, and it is awesome. It's got aqueducts running through it. This is on large funds, but if you take a look at some of the defenses here, it has this enormous plateau overlooking the entire area. There is the capture point right at the base of that kind of hill and the aqueduct, so you have a huge overlooking position. The city is filled with very interesting parts to it, and just this hill is freaking amazing. I love this thing. We have scorpions positioned at the top to put suppressing fire. We have archers deployed all around, tons of reserves. So really cool city. And because this city was so large and epic, we figured it would be worth throwing a lot of enemies at it. There's going to be 2 of us, and not against the usual 3 we do. It's 2 versus 4, which is pretty crazy.
Okay, so I understand that a lot of you guys, let's press play. 3, 2, 1, press play, and get into it. So me and Oakley, we do read comments. We do understand that a lot of you don't like it when we play against these overwhelming odds that you often see in our siege battles. And I just want to say that we understand where you're coming from on that you don't like seeing Oakley lose all the time. Perfectly understandable. But from our standpoint, when we play siege battles, when it's a 2-on-2, we usually just raffle stomp the people who are attacking, and it's very difficult to balance it out so that we're getting a very close battle, but we're still outnumbered. It's really hard to balance that. So basically, we try to go for what's really epic, put ourselves on the back foot, and if we can pull out a game like that, it makes it for such entertaining viewing. So in this instance, we wanted to give them more AI so that they had a chance of winning the battle. We had played this already, and we crushed it when we were just playing against 2 regular people, so we decided to give them AI. They went a little bit overboard. They were a bit overzealous on what to give their AI partners, so they're both playing Carthage. It's a Granitor and Bearcav from AVA clan, and they actually gave their Arverni and Nervii, is that Nervii? Yeah, Nervii AIs, ridiculous armies. So they gave them Chosen Swordsman, Oathsworn, just ridiculous build, which is going to be really hard to cut through, but it's going to put us on the back foot and make it really interesting for us to defend, basically.
Yeah, so like you said, this is definitely going to be uphill. I'm looking at the front of this, and I have to comment on the aesthetics of this. Lighting on this map is absolutely phenomenal. You would almost think this is straight out of a movie. It looks freaking great. The city had the atmospherics to it. It has everything to it. Now we have the scope and the scale when it comes to all these armies. So this is truly going to be epic. So even if it is an uphill battle, you know, Hollywood films are always uphill battles. You never watch, you know, a heroic city defense where it's just a blow over, beat them at the gates. It's always fight to the last man scenario, and that's what you're going to get with this battle.
So basically our entire idea for this battle was wait, pull back into kind of the center of the city, let them take the walls. We can't defend the walls, we're completely outnumbered, and the Chosen Swordsmen are going to crush our Premarian armies. We do have Premarian armies, so it's a bunch of Hastati, a bunch of Principes and Triarii, and then some Equites and Velites, that kind of thing, but we don't have the Legionnaire spam that would really make this a much easier battle, which is interesting. It means we're going for kind of a Punic War style. The Arverni and the Nervii kind of break that up a little bit. They're a little bit later on. Their army's a little bit later on in history, but regardless, we are going to be defending with Premarian armies, and so we wanted to let the walls get taken first and then just kind of pull back, and then there's this amazing hill at the back of the map where we have a bunch of flaming balls and the aqueduct, which makes this map look so interesting. Choke points here and then the capture point as well.
Take a look on the left side of this battlefield. They're taking out our towers with their catapults, and we're counter-battering against their tower here. We're going to try and take it out. Indy and I are focus firing, so this baby is going down. We're trying to kill as many of the opponents as we can, but these are massive, huge siege towers. Most of our shots are going to be hitting. A couple are missing. This guy's going to be taking a lot of damage, so this is a tower filled with units, and we're going to see what it looks like when it crumbles.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go down fast. It's smoking right now. This was one thing that we kind of discovered like a little bit into the replay. I had already tried taking down another siege tower from the Arverni on the other side of the map, but I started shooting at it a little bit too late, ran out of ammo, wasn't able to kill it. But this one we should be able to take down, and it's got noble fighters inside, so taking it out of the fight will be real nice. It means noble fighters won't get up on the walls, and it means that around half the unit... Oh, God. And it's going to go down. It's so beautiful. A bunch of them died right there. How many?
And then they swarm out like ants on a disturbed anthill.
Yeah, so they lost about 40 men.
Them with more catapults.
Yeah.
That's nice. So that's that one front. On the other front, you have the AI moving forward here. The computer with the Arverni chosen warriors. They're going to be storming this en masse. This is going to be absolutely brutal. Our catapults on the walls have been absolutely destroyed. There are huge sections of the wall that have been absolutely... Oh, actually, one of your catapults is still alive. But they're picking away at the wall. It has now a double-wide entrance in it, so they're blowing open this Roman fortress. This is crazy. And then if we look on the last side over here, which I haven't been looking at, it's, I believe, the west side, if you look on the map. But we have two siege towers coming forward. One is flaming, but I don't believe it's going to go down. And this is going to be the closest one to our capture point, but this is where we have the most defenders ready.
Yeah, and over where I killed that siege tower, I started manually firing into the men that are on... What is the name of the siege equipment again? It's the pyramid ram?
Tortoise ram?
Yeah, tortoise ram, yeah. So I'm manually firing in, and I've done a bunch of damage there. I killed 30 of his Libyan infantry, and yeah, this is going to be a numbers game, of course. It's basically kill as many enemies as you can with artillery, and then once we get into the city, we're going to be kind of defending these choke points. One thing that me and Oakley really love doing in siege battles, and what anyone should be trying to do when they get into a siege battle, is kind of create angles where you can stop a blob of infantry, get them really blobbed up, and then fire into the flanks with javelins or for skirmish units. So as you can see right here, we have some Hastati and some Triarii that are just going to hold down enemy units so that our Velites can fire in from the flanks. And we're going to be setting up angles like that all over the battlefield. You'll see that a lot this replay. That'll be a theme.
Yeah, I was watching the battering ram take out the left side. So we have holes now on every front. And like Indy was saying, we have this central position. I really like these garrisonable structures that they have. And this one in particular is in a great spot. It overlooks kind of a choke point. It can't be assaulted. You have to go all the way around. And so this is a really nice place where we've put up some Velites. And now the Gauls, Arverni is up at the walls. I had pulled forward with some Velites to try and pepper them. But then I saw that they are already starting to capture the towers. So I was kind of trying to weigh the cost-benefit of sticking around, getting some kills, but also taking damage myself. And the delay is going to cause just more Arverni forces to stream up on the hill, or up on top of the walls, and they're going to be able to pour down. So just as I'm trying to make my mind to engage, now they're going to be able to just pour down. And look at how many dudes they have swarming these front gates. This is absurd. And keep note of how the AI behaves this battle. We found it actually played really, really, really well.
It was surprising, honestly, yeah. So we've been hearing from CA about the reasoning for the pocket ladders and some of the stuff in Total War Warhammer for sieges, that they want to make the AI better. But this battle came on the heels of me seeing the Siege blog, and honestly I was really impressed with how well the AI handles itself, and we'll be focusing on that a lot this battle as well. I was mad at Bearcav and Granitor for giving the Arverni and Nervii such ridiculous armies, because they literally have better armies than the Carthaginian real players in this game. It's going to be extremely hard for a Premarian army to cut through this many chosen swordsmen and Oathsworn, but with these angles that we're going to be setting up in the city streets, with the javelins firing into these heavily armored swords from the flank, we'll still be able to do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, so this is, like Indy said, what we always like to do is just hold these choke points. You want to wait till you can get both flanks, and this is where my Velites, other javelin units are going to start to get some murder on. So we're holding the Arverni at bay. The AI is kind of ducking and bobbing in and out, waiting till it has critical mass. Carthage is plowing through the hole where they, put a hole with the tortoise, so they're flowing through there. They now have the walls behind my position. So this is actually going to be dangerous, because it's going to start to threaten this one area where I wanted to overwhelm the Arverni. They're going to be threatening my rear, so this is going to be bad for us if we want to hold out here for too long.
Yep, and they are capturing the towers, so this is another reason why we want to pull back from the walls, because as soon as they capture the towers, suddenly that's going to make it very dangerous for our troops to be anywhere near that. But this is where we're going to be creating those angles. You can see the Hastati for Oakley holding down these chosen swordsmen. Of course, that'll be combat that they lose, but with the support of 2 Velite units shooting into the flank, that should mean quite a bit of damage goes the way of the Arverni. That's what we need to do. We need to get these really high tier and mid tier barbarian infantry units off the field before Carthage gets deeper into the city. We need to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yep, and this is the perfect flank to hit these guys on from the side while they're engaged, raking up the kills. And in the background, you can see the tall cliffs in the back. And note that we're occupying those hills, so that is the depth that you're going to get in this type of battle. And that's one of the things that I will miss once we go into Warhammer, is the depth of these battles. It has it visually, but not so much in terms of gameplay. Ooh, and Arverni is pushing up in a couple places. So they're pushing up on this little square where I have some dogs, I have some gladiators. If I had my little kill squad there, war dogs with vetted up gladiators, they're going to be holding out there. And it looks like you're pulling back to have a bit of a flanking shot on that position.
Yep.
But there's also, if you look closer to the other side, where Carthage first punched through over by the aqueduct, there's an Arverni force of chosen swordsmen rushing up. And I hadn't seen these to the last moment, but they're rushing super quick. And it's going to be, you know, almost at the last minute that I notice that they're here, and I'm going to try and pop these flaming balls, actually. So this is going to be a race to see who can get there first, and it's going to cut it really, really close. So here come our guys. It looks like they're evenly spaced. My guys are going to get there, and there's going to be a slight pause, unfortunately, but now we're going to get the balls off, and it does not trigger in time. It was a half second off, I believe, and that unit is going to remain full, so the balls go flaming down the hill without having killed anyone. So I was super disappointed. We need to get as many free kills like that as possible, and I missed that one.
Yep, I blame you. You just lost this battle. GG. I'm just kidding. We don't know who's going to win this battle yet. But so the chosen swordsmen, yeah, it's interesting with the flaming balls because they do need that time to activate, and they need, I think roughly, like you said, about like maybe like 20, 25 feet. They need to be about that far away when they get activated for the balls to actually activate properly and roll through. So none of them died. That means that the Principes are going to be fighting a really difficult fight here, and it's not going to be easy for them at all. These chosen swordsmen and the barbarian infantry are a problem for Premarian armies, but we do have plenty more flaming balls in other parts of the map, and we've already started creating these angles that I was talking about in the kind of central plaza here. The Oathsworn are getting worn down by my Velites from the flanks. Good shots coming in there. And yeah, they're already down to about 115 men. My Triarii are in square formation, lost 30 men, but they're holding strong against the much higher tier barbarian sword infantry.
And dude, here comes the push for this occupiable building. They just crushed our outer defenses. I pulled them back in, and now it's going to be our Velites up here. And look at the sight that they have here. African pikemen lining up, hoplites moving through. So this is going to be so freaking scary. But these are our vanguard forces trying to get some shots off. They are getting counter-shot by Balearics, and so I think we're going to start pulling our Velites a little bit back. But look at this African pike wall waiting to push up. Their underlings, the hoplites, are going to be moving forward, but the Balearics have, they've suppressed the top of our position, so now that's going to be good for them. However, they're going to be facing the choke point up here. So the Arverni is going to be moving forward. The AI, again, doing a lot of the meat bagging for this this assault. I think, you're trying to pop the flaming balls here.
Again, I think they're going to be too close for the ball. Oh, actually, he's going to pull away there, so I should be able to get some kills here. Did I not? I guess I didn't go for the balls.
Yeah, I think we realized it was the AI, and so what we were worried about is if that's a human player, they would have sacrificed probably a cheap unit to trigger the flaming balls. But I think we figured here we'd attack them and save the flaming balls for when there's more units moving up.
I should have definitely used the flaming balls there. Those are chosen swordsmen. They're an important unit to get off the field, and Principes, they can do okay against chosen swordsmen, but they aren't going to raffle stop that engagement. So actually, I think I just clicked an attack order because I didn't see the flaming balls, and then I'm going to bring up this other unit, and this unit is definitely going to try to drop those balls on these already engaged swordsmen. So I should be able to get some kills here. They're a little bit too close to the balls, but some of them should die at least, and we'll see. Balls rolling through. Nope, yeah, it only killed the very end of the unit. It didn't get very many, so maybe about 8 or 9 guys died there, but that's frustrating. I wish the balls activated right away. They are set on fire, but I guess that is kind of a balance.
Ooh, Ooh, one of them bowled all the way through and is hitting. It's hitting out
Oh, I see.
slowly an entire unit.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty good, pretty good. But yeah, so now we're engaged here, and look at how many dudes are swarming this position. This is crazy. Meanwhile, if you look at the far ramparts, there are still guys pouring over the walls. It's insane. There's still more guys coming into the walls while we're trying to fight for our lives at this choke point. So a lot of units thrown in here, but like I said, this is a choke point. There's no way around this. So we're going to pour in a lot of units to support. Over where we have my gladiators in this little courtyard, we've got a nice choke point. Most of our velites have fired their shots, so now we're going to be in a massive brawl. Over by the top here, my Pericopes are still holding strong against enemy forces. The Gauls have brought in heavy horse to beat back your sucky Equites. The mercenary Scutari Cav got also pulled in. We threw in some of our own cavalry within here. We're hoping to land some hammer and anvils on the rear of the enemy blobs that are engaged, but the AI has brought so many numbers that we're just not able to wrap around them. That's going to be very problematic for us.
Yeah, and the heavy horse are going to be a real problem for my sucky Equites. They're going to be able to tie them down for sure, but I'm not going to really be able to kill them off. And then more heavy horse coming in. Good use of cavalry from the AI. They're actually using their cav very well in the city streets, tying down important units. I wanted to get a hammer and anvil off on this big blob right here, but the AI did a great job of tying them down. You can see the Nervii Fierce Swords and the Chosen Swordsman. They're going to cut through these Principes who are up to 115 kills, but they're Oathsworn. Heavy horse there. They have no hope of holding out that far for that long. And then in the back, I also have another engagement going on with, I believe this is Bear Cav. He has his Libyan infantry that's moved up. They punched a hole through the wall. He has some mercenary Sand Knights up on the walls. And this is an engagement where I'm going to have to try to stem the tide of Carthage in the back of the settlement, try to take out these Libyans. So I'm going to let my Hastati take the brunt of the slinger fire with their shields, and then move up the Principes and hopefully be able to beat the Libyan infantry in 1v1 combat with my Principes, get them off of the field.
Yeah, I think our hope here is if we just bottle up in choke points, we will get whittled away. So what we need to do is punch counter holes in the opponents and try and get some rear strikes wherever we can on the enemy, like we tried to do with our cav, like we were trying to do with our infantry. If you can knock out these guys here, that's going to threaten a lot of the enemy, and we can wrap around and try and knock out clusters, kind of like our strategy was when we were defending Constantinople, but in this case, we're having a really hard time. If you look at the aqueduct line towards where my gladiators and everyone is engaged, I have been able to pull away some Saki Equites. So they're going to be pulling forward under the aqueduct where the flaming markets and all that, and they're going to be charging through towards some of the weak slingers in the rear. So that is the type of engagement we wanted, but it's just not going to be enough men. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the main choke point where we were defending before, it has been absolutely obliterated. It's cleared out. Guys are pulling back. This is the lower levels of Minas Tirith being evacuated. So now we have to fall back.
Fall back to the
top
flaming
areas.
balls. Yeah, it's time for some flaming ball play. So you guys know that is our thing. We love our flaming balls. And there's going to be a huge rush from the AI to try to get up this little mountainside where we have the balls. So I do have a slinger unit there. It's hopefully going to be able to drop some balls. I'm moving it up now. The spear warriors are actually closing very quickly. I don't really want to waste flaming balls on them, but I kind of have to. There is a blob of sword infantry that is moving up behind that. We'll see how many kills I can get with these balls. I think they're going to roll off kind of in a weird angle. It's very wonky trying to get these balls to work properly, but that's just the nature of the beast.
Ooh, mostly a whiff.
Yeah.
So now I think you're getting a bit desperate. I mean, look how many barbarians are running up here. You have to trigger something. So it looks like you're going for the second batch. So one of them goes off. Now, oh wow, that's going to be pretty solid right through there.
Kill some stuff.
Oh wow, that's brutal.
Oh. All right, so it wasn't like our siege of Petra or Cyrene, but it was good. It killed a lot.
Yep, and now that we've pulled those guys in, my archers are going to reveal themselves from this flanking position. They're going to stand up from the bushes, and they're going to unload with all their arrows here. So this is why I love this map. You have positions like this right on the flank of a single choke point. So I have scorpion units hidden here, and now my guys are, yelling, pick your targets, and we're going to unleash on the flank of this force. You also have scorpions that have been on overwatch on the top of the city. We're going to be able to pull those in. I have scorpions also just above this choke point. kind of on the base of this hill, and they're also going to be firing away. So this is why this city is freaking awesome. So epic.
Ton of different fields of fire, different angles we can get our range units to fire into. This is the kind of stuff that makes Total War Sieges. It's unlike anything on YouTube. It's unlike any other game. It's just a different kind of scale. It really is just immersive and awesome. Maybe not perfectly historical, but God, it's a blast to play. So yeah, we got these killing fields in here. We've got the slingers firing in. We've got the archers firing in. We've got the ballistas firing in. African pikemen moving up now. Those will be the targets we want to take out. They have a small missile block chance. Not the best armor value, so we definitely want to be taking those pikes off the field, because in this kind of choke point, that's where pikes kind of excel. Need to kill them. And then over in the central plaza, we are still holding on. It is a bloodbath over here. Sworn have cut through a lot of our men, but our men are still holding strong. Some of them have routed. Actually, one of my Triarii down to 54 men are routing. The Estati are getting worn down. A lot of kills on them. Triarii have a decent amount of kills, but it's a matter of time at this point. The Sworn will be able to cut through.
Here comes a Scutari unit here to clean it up and finish it off. So that is going to seal the end of this force.
Yep.
The next engagement is actually going to take place right at the aqueduct. So this is where we've held up some defenses. I have some vetted up Triarii positioned here, and we're going to be holding at the aqueduct as the Arverni forces now push into these areas. They had cavalry that sallied forth. We beat it back, and now they're going to be trying to push through this area, and it's a really nice place to defend because it's obviously a choke point. So this is where we're going to be throwing in some of our men, and I really have to protect this because this is holding back, well, everything from the capture point, and especially it's going to be protecting my archers as they fire onto the second area we're trying to hold back. So this is very, very key.
Yeah, and things are definitely starting to look a little bit dire for us. We've lost a lot of men. Our choke point over here, where the flaming balls were, is holding strong. Principe is doing quite well, almost up to 100 kills. Triarii up to 50, but the pikes are pushing through so many units. It just seems like a never-ending supply of Carthaginians and barbarians that are trying to push through. And defending this capture point is going to be a real tough challenge for us. We do have plenty of units to do it right now, but balance bar is definitely shifting in their favor. Things are going to get even more difficult from here.
Yep, and it looks like your assault on the Libyans on the right has been somewhat beaten back. I think they threw a lot of reinforcements into this fight. So you're trying to push them back, but this is kind of a distraction from the main engagement. And look at this. AI has actually positioned some Levy Freeman Chosen Swordmen to block this passage, and I was amazed that the AI was doing that, because you can see how we're pulling out our cavalry under the aqueduct. Saki, the general's bodyguard. What I was hoping to do is take this little and hit the back of the choke point where we're holding the aqueduct, but the AI is blocking us, so I was very, very impressed by that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the AI wasn't thinking in its head, oh, I want to block Oakley from getting a hammer and anvil off. But yes, blocking off that choke point is going to end up being a problem for us, and really good move from the AI. It does mean that you can't pull your cav unit over here and then hit the barbarians over there in the rear at the plaza. So what we're going to do instead is going to go straight for the Balearic Slingers, which were causing me quite a lot of pain. They're up to 87 kills. You're going to charge in, be able to take them off the field. I did ask for your cav support there. It was very, very helpful to take those guys off the field. That means we're probably going to win this engagement over here. The Libyans are going to get isolated. My general's bodyguard and your Sucii Equites should be able to rout what's left of here. And I do have the Velites that are moving into a flanking position to shoot in, which will be pretty brutal to watch, actually. But again, in the center of the plaza, things are going less well for us, I guess I could say.
We are holding back at the aqueduct. This has been a nice choke point to hold. The enemy has kind of, their numbers have thinned out. They're committing a couple extra men, but I think we have enough to hold it back. So this should be okay, but somewhere it's going to crack. Perhaps not in this location, but if you look at the main line where we're still holding strong with Triarii, the initial causeway, Principe is at 163 kills. They're holding back, basically holding the enemy, grabbing them by the scruff of their shirt and just holding them, pinning them in place while our archers and scorpions unleash on them. But everyone, the holding force is getting tired. It's getting whittled away. The archers are starting to run out of ammo, and this could spell the end of this position. And once this cracks, that is obviously going to expose the rear of every other force we have. So this is really, really important for us to hold and try and get something big. The enemy is popping all sorts of abilities. I'm going to switch to, I believe, fire shots to start to rout certain units. A couple key units have gone down pretty heavily. And now by the aqueduct, some of the heavy horse is starting to rout. The spear nobles have actually made it to the other side of the aqueduct, and that's going to be the general. So if we can actually rout that guy, I was hoping it would have a chain rout effect. But we'll see if that occurs.
Where's the Arverni general?
He's right. He's on our side of the aqueduct. Push through. He is a spear nobles general.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so killing him will be good. Barbarians are susceptible to chain routing occasionally. It doesn't happen too much on Emperor Edition, but they're much more likely than the Hellenic factions or Romans. But it's... look at the balance bar. Things are hard for us right now. It is going to be about killing as many guys as we possibly can. Chain routing will be a thing. Look at that. A good rear charge from the Sekiai Equites. Good use of them. We are going to be able to take down the Barbarian General. It's going to be a big deal. But yeah, we are getting slowly whittled away, and there's so many troops on the field right now. Lots of stuff to cut through.
Yep, and they're pouring through here. They killed off the rest of our infantry. I do a desperate charge with my Saki. Just charge straight into this mass. Unfortunately, the pikemen are in the back, but they didn't have it dropped, actually, so I do get a fair amount of kills with there, but it is suicidal. Gonna get all the way up to 200 kills, I believe, with that unit. Yep, and now I'm gonna disengage. So still some hope left. Aqueduct is still holding strong. I'm going to pull some auxiliary Syrian archers and try and throw them into that fight to try and hold this back. Give our archers and Balearics more time to kill. Your guys at
217. They're going to start racking up kills really fast. They're just shooting into this blob, a bunch of naked swordsmen, shooting into the flanks of the chosen swordsmen and the pikes. They are just racking up kills, but they also have a very limited amount of ammunition, which means that they're going to be running out pretty soon. But you can get 250 kills in a Balearic Slinger, you're doing something right. They've gotten some great shots off this battle.
And the Nervii general, the Oathsworn, is also there. He is exhausted, so we're hoping, to land some knockout punches on the general. The Arverni general has gone. The aqueduct position is still holding out, so this is perhaps, can we make it happen? We still have both of our generals alive, still some cavalry left, but the pressure is mounting, and they have more units starting to stream in from the rear, so the faucet has not been turned off. The enemy is still going to come. Oh, man, and I just looked over on the other side of the aqueduct. There are 5 or so more units coming in to support.
Yeah. Things are looking pretty bad for us right now, but there's always... What?
And the pikes. Look at the African pikes pushing forward. That is going to be the key part for forcing us back. I have archers in this. This is not going to hold strong.
Well, no. I mean, they're Syrian archers. They have 114 kills. They've done their damage from skirmishing. But yeah, they're they're not going to be able to beat pikemen from the front. But we have our secret weapon. You guys know what it is. The flaming... Oh my god, my Balearic Slingers are up to 300 kills almost. Shooting into the rear of the Levy Freeman. Probably not the best target to be going for, but I am going to trigger the flaming balls here. Let's see what they can do. Okay, and they're going to roll backwards at the start. Nice physics, CA. 3 of them are going to go into the walls. I am going to kill 6 right there, and it's going to keep rolling. Go through some of the jabs. Oh yeah, that's a nice flaming ball right there. And it's going to keep going. He keeps pulling through.
And the Carthaginians are going to pull through that. They're still active, so anyone who runs into that is going to get killed. Oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, they've taken the capture point. My Triarii are still holding strong. Prinsaki Extraordinari still holding strong. But that is it. That's all that's left. We're popping more desperation balls here. It's going to tear through the enemy general. He still makes it alive.
Oh,
so
God. So satisfying. This one's going to keep rolling through. Going to get more kills, more jabs, dead. We get set on fire, but we're gonna have to keep pulling further and further back. So few men left on the field at this point.
Oh, and I think we did kill the enemy Carthaginian general, so this is certainly going to be a Pyrrhic victory for the opponents. They've lost.
Well, they're not going to win. We're going to win this, Oakley. We got this, dude. They're going to mass rout. We killed their gen. It's fine.
Well, the Nervii general has stayed unengaged. If he were to throw himself in, we may have a chance to turn this around. Our generals are now going to be the Legatus thrown in against the Libyans, trying to knock those guys out, but we are now starting to get a chain rout. Everything is going down at this point. We have almost nothing left. At the aqueduct, 2 of my units are going to start to rout and go down. Triarii, the only ones left. And here now we're trying to pull the the last hope is this last flaming balls. If we can get the angle just right, it may roll a strike.
It may
We'll
kill
see.
their entire army and we'll win the game. Nuke them. Nuke them with the balls. And yeah, they're gonna run
The
in.
enemy knows that this is a danger. They're shooting their arrows at us. They want to try and stop us. Here he goes. Here comes one. All right. 3 of them missed. Another one rolls through. And I think it's going to hit this unit just at the perfect angle. Ooh.
Yep.
Took out a huge cluster.
Oh, that was good. Don't we have one more? Yeah, we have one more.
Yep, so your unit routed, so now we have like, oh god, we have nothing left to use.
Dismount
so
the
what I'm
gen.
gonna do here, yeah, I pulled my general over here. He's the last unit left, and he is told to go launch the nukes. I'm gonna be pulled to the top of the hill, and we're like, fuck it. I'm gonna dismount my general. I'm gonna tell him immediately go, launch the nukes. This is the last scene in the bunker where the enemy's swarming in here. They're shooting everyone, and then you have one bloody guy who comes and hits like the launch button. That's what my general is doing here. Here he goes. The flaming balls are going to come out, and we're going to get a little bit of vengeance on this. Oh, and the dog knows what's happening. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's going to go right through the... Oh my god, it could not have been more perfect. Going to go right through the entire line of the hoplites, and then you're going to die and we're going to lose.
Yeah, so unfortunately that didn't really get the the hit that we wanted on the entire army. I'm sure there's a perfect setup you can have with the balls where it rolls through the entire hill, follows the road. I'm sure there's something. We'll keep testing on that. But that is it for the battle. Costly enemy victory. Really, really, really epic stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Anything else you wanted to comment, or did you want to go ahead and hop over to the stats?
It's probably one of my favorite city layouts I've seen on Rome 2 or Attila, and you guys have seen a lot of really cool battles from me and Oakley on these sieges. Think about Constantinople, Fall of Athens, lots of really amazing battles, 11,000 man Siege of Cyrene, but this one might be my favorite layout. The aqueduct running through the center, the hill in the back, that was a very defensible position. The fact that the capture point is really close to that hill, that you can actually defend it, just makes it so interesting. There are certain parts, certain maps where you'll see a really cool part of geography on the map, but the capture point's far away, so you never really get to fight over it. That's not the case on this map. It's a Hannibal at the Gates map. It's called Tarquinii. Definitely check it out. Really cool city, one of my favorite I've seen on Total War, and kind of just gives you that whole sense of scale, that amazing, epic kind of battle that you really want to see in sieges. And yes, we didn't win. Yes, the enemy army had way too many men. Yes, we never had a chance of winning that battle, but that's what we enjoy. We enjoy playing it on the back foot. I'm sorry that some of you like to see us win, and I know that we're going to be winning some of these siege battles occasionally, but this is how we like to play it. That's all I can say about it.
Cool. Let's go ahead and end the replay and look at some of these stats. On the kills here, we did pretty good. Not getting more kills than our own force had to start off with, but I mean, we tied both hands behind our backs. We had Premarian forces. Pretty crazy. Let's take a look at your army here. Overall, getting fair amounts of kills. The Balearic Slingers, 294, like you called out earlier. Super impressive. The infantry, kind of trading cost effectively. Hastati with 141, 154, 97. That is really good, actually. Surprised to see that. My own forces, the dogs actually got shredded before I could unleash them. Balearics got to them beforehand. Saki, Extraordinari doing well. Triari doing well. Archers doing well. A Scorpion unit with 240 kills.
I've never seen that ever. That's insane.
That's absurd. My cavalry, Saki Equite, is definitely worth bringing in. Balearics not getting as much as I would have liked, so if I had kept them probably till the end for that choke point, they could have done better. I want to talk about our opponent's performance. They didn't get too many kills overall.
No, so Granitor did well. His pikes actually did very well. 142 kills, 154. Catapults just putting holes in the walls, and his Sam Knights and Libyans did well. Like I said, I was a little annoyed I wasn't butthurt about it, but I was a little annoyed that they gave such a ridiculous. Look at that! It's 7 chosen swordsmen and a spear noble, and then the Nervii army got 4 fierce swords and an Oathsworn. They knew we were bringing Premarian armies. I think they went a little bit overboard on what to give the AI. I was kind of expecting to see like Levy Freeman and spear warriors, just kind of meat shields. Instead, they ended up being a lot of the killing power of the enemy army. Bearcav, not a whole lot of kills, but he kind of went in late. He had a bunch of guys still left alive, his mercenary Iberian swordsmen, and his noble fighters didn't see too much combat. Nervii, Oathsworn, 200 kills. And, yeah, the Arverni army did quite a bit of killing as well, 1,300 kills.
Yeah. Brutal.
It was. That was a
Yeah.
really brutal battle. Lots of flaming balls, lots of death and destruction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry we lost. Forgive us.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one. We may be doing more sieges on this map. It's too epic to pass up, so we'll try refining our strategy, and we'll look for more maps to share with you. There's definitely a bunch more hidden gems. I'm surprised I hadn't seen this one till lately, so we'll keep looking.
See you guys.
All right, see you guys in the next one.